One.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hey y'all. This is Tracy, and as you see, we have Britt with us if you're here with us on YouTube. Um, and you will hear her if you're here with us on our audio platforms. Welcome to Sunday Shift and welcome, Britt. Thanks for filling in today.
Oh, my pleasure. Love being here. Love helping you, Tracy, with your beautiful glasses and face.
Thank you. Um, I love we were chatting about how much Britt does not like Sunny. So I just think with how messy this week is, this is about to be a fun conversation, much more fun than the actual show. So, how was your week?
I know every time I come on here, I end up talking about the weather, but Midwestern weather was crazy. Right now, it is a nice sunny, like 77 degrees. Earlier this week, or last week, it was like 50 degrees and it was rainy. So there's that. I also, if anybody is in the Chicagoland area or visiting Chicago, guys should go to this Black owned diner called Stutsy's, Stussy Diner. It's in the Bridgeport neighborhood. It is owned by Black women and it is very pink. It's 50 style. They serve breakfast and lunch. They have mimosas, non-alcoholic, but still good. They have milkshakes. I had strawberry flavored pancakes. It was delicious. They have really good food. It was enjoyable. Everything was very cute. Everybody's dressed old fashioned. Their bar was like a little like old fashioned like diner setting sort of deal. It was very, very cute. So I think I'm suggesting everybody go if you're in Chicago or going to Chicago.
And that is not an ad. They are just that good.
Yes, they are.
So, I have not been, but I think next time I'm in Chicago, I will stop through. I got to hang with my nephew yesterday, and he's very funny. He has such a personality. He listens to these like trap nursery rhymes. Um, it's a lot, and now I know the songs. So I listen to trap nursery rhymes, and I'll be like singing along, and now he thinks that's the funniest thing because I'll be like, because like also the beat kind of hits. So I'm like, you know, 30 Little Pigs.
I get you.
And it's also like I think they're like black creators as well. And I like looked at their story, and so they had because like on this, if anybody, please, people who are parents or aunties and uncles, please put in the chat if you have seen these before. But it's like a black family, and they have like four boys, and I noted that one of the boys in the videos had like angel wings, and I found out that like one of their sons had passed away, but they keep him in the like family videos or whatever, and like he's like looking over his brother. So I thought that was really sweet. Shout out to them. Um, Shout out to Trap Nursery Rhymes and keeping my nephew very, very, very entertained. When I tell you he was just sitting next to me playing with Play-Doh and looking at that while I played a game on my phone. Um, Before we actually started playing together, it gave me like a nice break. Um, yeah, it was great. So shout out to them.
I
And
love
it had a better storyline than GH, if I'm being honest. Um, so, this week, so as you know, we always do that performer of the week. I'm trying to think who I believe Tanya would have given performer of the week to. Probably Tracy and Laura. I saw like the part where Tracy like grabbed Laura's face. It was very sweet. It had all that history in it. And so I think that would have been a moment Tanya really enjoyed. It was definitely a moment I enjoyed. I think that, Jane Elliott and Jeannie Francis, it doesn't matter how mad they make me, those characters make me, and sometimes they make me mad. those actresses just, I mean, magic, you know. This is how they've carried this genre on their backs, and they continue to do that. And they continue to be very, very, very talented at it. And then the other performance I would say of note is Kelly Monaco. I mean, obviously we know that she's going to be exiting the show, but it's just like the bravery she has of like going through these performances. Um, like the emotion she has feels really on the surface because she's saying goodbye to, you know, her job in 21 years and co-stars that she's worked with for a long time. And so that comes through in the performance. And I just think being able to be brave enough to not say F y'all, get a tip recast um,
Mhm.
is admirable, and I appreciate Kelly for doing that for us fans and exiting the show in that way for us fans to have those scenes with her. Any standout performances for you?
I would also concur with Jane Elliott. Um, all of her scenes this week, except for one, we'll talk about that later. Um, where there was one where she pissed me off, but
Yeah, for
like
sure.
the rest, yeah. But the rest of them, like the one you said was with Jeannie Francis, but also the one with Lisa Laserio. Is that how you say her name?
Lissa Sorrell, I think.
Yeah. Where she was talking like I think she was trying to sue the parents of Garth, who was like bullying Violet, and it was like it was funny. And then she was talking about how she was feeling like she helpless, like she
Mhm.
couldn't help Finn get over his alcoholism, his very quick alcoholism. Um, and help Violet have her daddy back. She couldn't help Lulu. She's dying, and the way she said, like very like quietly, like dying, and saying like the love of her life's daughter, who she helped raise, and everything. And it was a very nice moment of emotion and vulnerability with Tracy, and I like that.
Mhm.
So I also liked her conversation with Cody in a way, but I guess we'll get to that. That was also a little weird, but we'll get to it. Um, and I like exactly, and I like her snark towards Holly because I'm for any snark towards Holly. So that was funny also. So I think she did a really good job, and I also concur with Kelly Monaco because I'm a huge fan of hers, and I think she's doing a good job with what she got. What she has been given has not been much at all, especially the top half of the week where she's just getting hot dog condiments. But she is doing a good job of what she's given. And yeah, I concur that she's doing a great job considering the circumstances.
I could have knocked that hot dog out of Dom's hand. And we love Dom, obviously. But
Yeah.
y'all have got to be kidding me. Anyway, let's get into it. We have a lot to discuss, and I cannot wait to discuss it with you. You know, Britt used to do spaces, and we used to. I feel like I'm not on Twitter anymore because of Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so I miss these times of us getting to talk to each other about the show. Okay. First things first, Alexa's out of jail. Y'all, we were talking about this right before we pushed record. So Alexis is out of jail. That gun showed up. We don't know with who. Is another storyline that kind of got dropped, or like maybe it'll come back. We don't know who dropped the gun off. Rick and Rick and Elizabeth confirm it's the gun. All very silly stuff. But kind of the setup of the story is that Sonny was gonna turn himself in, doesn't need to anymore. Dante was gonna, snitch through his job, but none of that is necessary. Sonny did not have to turn himself in. Alexis is out of jail. I laughed at Anna saying to Sonny, "That's noble of you," and him saying, "I'm a stand-up guy." So I know how you feel about Sonny Corinthos. How did you feel about like the story of him being willing to turn himself in, but not having to turn himself in?
Okay, so first of all, I'm starting off with first of all, but this storyline has been terrible. Okay, it should have been a murder mystery. I'm
Facts.
not the first person who's ever said that, but like it should have been a murder mystery. Um, two, okay, so not just Sunny, it's like everybody involved in this storyline I don't care about. So like I
Okay.
don't care if Alexis is in prison. I don't care if Christina feels guilty or whatever she's feeling, because she's annoying the crap out of me. I don't care about. I know you guys. I know you love Carly, but like I don't care. Carly's sacrificing her freedom for Sunny. The weirdness of everybody thinking that they have to be in a relationship when they've had one-off stands before. So everybody acting like they're not together is suspicious. Okay. Um, just the whole story was silly. And then I have everybody saying you're a good man, Savannah, to Sonny because he was going to quote unquote turn himself in. He didn't turn himself in. He didn't turn the gun in. So it wasn't even like he saved her that way. I don't know if they think because Michael was talking like he thought that he did this or something. I don't know. But like he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He was saved by Martin Gray, by the former KFC man, because he changed his accent and all and shaved and all that crap. He got saved by that because he was like, yo, new evidence to in front of him and Anna and Dante. And even if Martin didn't do it, Dante was about to do it. So it's like he didn't do nothing. So why this little parade? Everybody's hugging. Like Alexis is hugging him. He's like, I do anything for the ones I love. You didn't do nothing. All you did was kill Kate. Which okay, fine, whatever. I don't care about Dagger Case either. But like what is this? This is ridiculous. This was a ridiculous ending to a ridiculous storyline. Sunny again looks is touted as the hero, but he didn't do anything. He just murdered somebody. Like okay, and okay,
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, for me, I agree with what you're saying. I miss when the show had stakes. I miss when things felt interconnected. I miss when things mattered. Because even now, okay, so we spent like 2 weeks talking about how Sunny and Carly had to be together, but then they go to court and Sunny and Carly's not with Sunny. Like we don't even hear them talking about these relationships anymore. We don't see homophobic Maria Santos. Like we don't see any of these things happening, but like they were so important a week ago. These stories are not connecting and um they're not connecting and they're not good. They're not compelling. And I think I was kind of saying something about this to a couple people the other day. That I'm rewatching This Is Us. And I bring that up because I don't expect, I mean, I know GH doesn't have the same budget and the same level of whatever, but that show was about storytelling. And it actually is like why we watch soaps is to like get storytelling. And they're not telling good story. What was the point of Alexis being in jail? What was the point of the gun and this whole mystery, fake mystery? It just happened to happen. Is Sonny now under investigation? Are we now going to see him be watched, or are we supposed to believe the feds just had one of their own murdered and then they leave in town? That's what we're supposed to believe now. And I just think that the heavy handedness of Sonny being a good guy it wasn't isn't necessary. They used to have him do things that made you feel like he was compelling, that made you feel like there's a dark and a light in him. Being willing to do something and then not having to do it to me didn't feel like it was telling a good story. I didn't care about it. But at least Alexis is home and Molly cussed out Christina again. So, I mean,
I did like that. I did like Molly looking at Christina like she's I don't know, evil in a human form because she is. But yeah, I like it.
well, let's talk a little bit about Christina and Christina's hospital, if you will. So your guy Rick finds out that her and Alexis are going to be at a restaurant, so he takes Ava to the restaurant, and he goads her into attacking him, and she falls for it. I don't know. I know that you're saying Christina gets on your nerve. I'm also saying Christina gets on my nerve. Um, I feel like people wished for her to be here as this weird way to like dunk on Jocelyn and Michael, and now look at us. Everybody be like, "Where's Christina? Christina's the heir apparent to the mob, and Christina can't even be quiet so that people won't go to jail."
Monkey paw.
For real. Michael's out here. Michael going to work, being a CEO, and Michael being the CEO of this murder cover up. And Christina can't even sit down. But everybody was like, Christina should run the mob. I remember when people was like, Christina, who do y'all know Christina? And whatever version they have Nancy playing of Christina is even worse than like what Christina has always been. I don't know. What are your feelings about Christina? What are your feelings about Christina's hospital overall?
I hate it. I hate her. I was very neutral towards Christina in all forms. So like Lexi Christina, the one that's called the Latina Christina, the second Christina. And even when
Blue
Kate Mancy
Princess.
first came, yes, Ma Princess Christina. And then Kate Mancy's version of Christina at first. Then it has to do with the baby storyline, but it was also like her being besties with Nina, despite the fact that she's supposed to be this daddy's girl that is supposed to be like utmost loyal and loving towards her father, but she's okay with the woman who didn't tell her that he was alive for months. Um, and then it's this ridiculous storyline where I'm supposed to feel sorry. Like, it's a combination of I saw what I saw, everybody saw what they saw, which is that Ava barely touched her. She tripped over Jagger's bag. He pirouetted across the room out of the window. She's talking like Ava, like straight up like that meme of Megan Thee Stallion, when she like does the push thing from the Plan B video. She's acting like she did a hard pusher out the window. That's not what happened. So that's number one. Then number two, she keeps calling that baby Adela. She keeps saying my daughter when that is supposed to be the baby that her sister and her partner's baby. And then she's so disrespectful. She won't call that baby Irene. She keeps throwing it in her sister's face that she couldn't carry a baby. You can possibly understand. Then she is so dismissive of TJ, who she's known most of her life and is the father of this child. So if you're going to talk about biology, what are you doing cutting off TJ, and then claiming you're cutting him off because him and Molly were fighting and you thought TJ was going to take the baby away from her, but you're also trying to take the baby away from them.
Now,
So
to be fair, if I would have seen TJ with those two earrings, I'd have been like, "Are you okay, bro?"
to be
Taj,
fair, I
very
just think he's
handsome. Those two earrings, Doctor Crisis.
he's just living his best 1992 life. It's just
He do look like
that's
he
all
about to
he's
be in a
doing.
Jodeci video.
He is. He just needs the boots. But yeah, uh, Christina's a hot mess. And then she's just very me. She's always been me, but it's even more obnoxious now. And she's just so obnoxious. So like I could try to see her point of view, but Ava and Rick are like my faves. So like I'm just like, yes, keep making yourself look bad at this restaurant, Christine. You know, Rick set that whole thing up. So you should be like, oh man, she got set up. But I'm like, yes, set her up, Rick. Yes, drink that glass. Yes, let her knock it out. Correct her when you say that that was Molly's baby and her name is Irene and it was her fault. Yes. So I loved it. And Ava doing her, I know what it's like to lose a child too, and all of that stuff. I just loved it. And Alexa's getting frustrated with her. Now, I would say I'm a little annoyed. We're going into this later, but it's still into Christina Hospital because Christina made their whole conversation into about her. I don't like Alexis equating Molly's issues and Christina's issues with this whole situation. But like, I do like that Alexis is getting more and more annoyed with her daughter. I hope soon her and her baby daddy, Sonny, will stop coddling this 37-year-old woman. Like, it's ridiculous.
I don't see them not coddling her, if I'm being honest. I feel like I was one of the people I liked Christina and Blaze, and I think people didn't understand, people as in the show didn't understand how much Blaze was like a reason that people that was like a grounding force for Christina. That she was less annoying when she was in that relationship. And so now it's like a flip of this character just making her ridiculous. And for me, I mean, Rick is definitely not my fave by any means, but I did love the part where he exposed her. Like, because it was funny to me. And it shouldn't be because Christina should be the more sympathetic character, and she's not. Now, I don't know if that's just me or if it's just us. I don't know how the audience at large feels. I do sometimes try to like wonder how people are being written and like what the kind of powers that be think that people are supposed to believe. But Christina in no way is a sympathetic character, and you have her up against like characters who are established and kind of messy, but played like really well messy. You know, like I've never liked Rick, but I love that actor, and so I'm gonna be here for whatever Rick does. I love Maura West, and so I'm gonna be here for whatever Maura West does. So putting those two actors and those characters against Christina, who has been nothing but annoying, I can't imagine that they thought we were gonna be on Christina's side. That would be really weird to me. I don't get it. Like I don't understand what they thought we were gonna do. Um, it is interesting now though that we see that Molly and TJ are like our stories are aligned. We keep hearing from other people that they're having relationship problems, and now they're like we're finally on the same page. So I guess we were supposed to assume that they had very real off-screen marital strife aside from what we've been seeing, which is feels like they were just missing each other.
Yes. Um, Off-screen universe, baby.
That's where all the interesting stuff happens, off screen. Um,
hmm
let's get into because I want to keep talking a little bit about how they are portraying people and how they feel like we're supposed to be seeing people. And let's go on Portia and Brad and Portia overall. Now, if you listen to this show, you know I'm a Portia apologist, and I have said many, many times that I don't think people have to like Portia. I think the question needs to be why is Portia being written in a way that's unlikable? And
hmm
so I don't mind her doing whatever, right? Like it's a soap, people, or it's a show. People are going to be complicated, but they don't make her complicated. They just make her harpy, and then you make her silly. No way would Portia not assume that Rick was getting a DNA test, or not DNA test, but the like cobalt test at other places. That's kind of common practice is to get multiple tests. So to have
Mm-hmm.
Portia be like, oh, I was going to change this and keep her in jail. Well, you failed. You failed. And they wrote this in the most uninteresting way. So she goes to Curtis and talking about how hard it was for her to keep this secret. I'm like, Portia, you kept a paternity secret for 18 years. I don't believe that it was hard for you to keep this lab secret. I don't believe it. And then when you get to like the Brad piece of it, there isn't even like an interest, like a point for Brad to be like, I understand why you did this because Britt was my best friend. I could see, and I didn't mind, and I was fine with what they did with it, and like Brad, like going up against Portia and being really cheeky and funny. I didn't mind that. But to pretend like Portia didn't know and to not bring that extra history piece in didn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I agree. Um, Portia doesn't have a personality besides, honestly, she doesn't have a personality besides, hey, I love Trina. I must protect Trina. Trina, Trina, Trina. Like, her and Curtis don't really have like storylines together except for her being like, oh, I don't know about this, Curtis, or are you sure? Or, okay, baby. That's it. Um, and I guess finding out stuff about Rick Lansing. That's the only thing she's done. Like, and be bitchy towards Brad, and be bitchy towards Isaiah too. It's just like that's all she does is like be bitchy and mean, and it's kind of. I'm an apologist too, so I'm always like, I'm here for you, Portia. I'm with you, but like, it's hard because they don't round her out. And I know you've said this before, that they don't round her out or give her like other sides of her personality. So then you just see somebody who's just like constantly all the time. And they don't give her any other like yeah, like other sides to her personality. And you do that like Ava does messy crap, right? But like you see her softer side when she's talking to Avery, when Sunny allows her to see her kid, with Avery or with Trina. With Rick, he's a jackhole, but again, you see softer side when he's with Molly or when he's trying to romance Elizabeth. Um, like there's other people who have like messy sides who have done wrong stuff, but you also see another side of them. That's most of the show as a whole anyway, because the main characters are Sunny, Carly, Jason, who have done messy, illegal stuff or have, switched tests or did this and that or high paternity or steal a kid or whatever. But then you see another side of them and that's supposed to make you like understand where they're coming from. And I think that the show is not doing a good job of doing that for Portia. Besides, like, I just care about Trina. And they also it's weird. They're making Portia like Trina and Jocelyn and the young adults, and that they don't have any business except for their parents, and she has no business except for her child. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that that's true. And I think that the other part is, even when it comes to Trina, I mean, the only thing that we see her doing with Trina is complaining. Like, we hear her talk about loving Trina and we hear her talk about caring about Trina, but the person who has the most tender moments with Trina is Ava. So we don't even get that part of the relationship with her because they're so busy telling the story about her just harping on stuff. Um, I felt like even with the Isaiah piece, to your point, when she was like talking to him about he ran in Lulu's machine, whatever, she wasn't wrong, right? Like, this is a hospital. You did this. If something would have happened, I could have been in trouble. But um, Elizabeth is also hospital administration. She's also leadership. And so for her to have had such a radically different reaction than Portia, even if she was going to have that initial reaction to show how big it was, let's talk about, and because I'm assuming this is all foreshadowing, I'm assuming that Isaiah is going to have something to do with this transplant. Um, let's have her say, hey, you know what? You know how it is. I'm hospital admin, and have people be like, yeah, I know. And then be like, let's just get you some privileges if you're going to be around, or something like that to like bring it in that he's probably going to be at this hospital. And instead of doing that, it was just like, well, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, and talking to Jordan like, why are you here? Are you here as a this or a that? Nothing is wrong with about what she said, right? She's the co-chief of staff. She's correct. But there's a way that you write someone that is more balanced to make to like see different sides of their personality. I've seen people talk about Portia as if we didn't see Sunny shoot somebody point blank. Like people talk about Portia as if she is the worst thing that's ever happened to this show, that she's the worst person. Yeah, she's a hypocrite. Who is not a hypocrite? Yeah, she's a bunch of these things, but because we don't have this balance with her, and because they don't put care into writing her, they don't care about writing her. She just becomes this person that you throw everything on. I said this when she got mad at Anna. I was like, yeah, it makes sense for her to be mad at Anna because Anna came over to apologize to Curtis. It wasn't about Curtis and his recovery. It was about Anna and her conscience. So if you come to my man's house or you come to my man and he's recovering to like assuage your guilt, yeah, I'm snapping on you. But like you don't have her do nothing else but like make this like long time character, this long time beloved character, this white woman cry. Meanwhile, she's also going up against Laura. Meanwhile, she's also going up against this person, that person, this person. What is the point? What is the story we're trying to tell? And can we please tell it better?
Agreed.
Oh God, I'm tired of it. Tired of. I'm like, if you anybody who's a Game of Thrones fan, I'm like Jon Snow with my sword, Battle of the Bastards. Every time I gotta defend Portia, tired of it. Um, question of the week: why won't Drew leave Willow alone?
It's so weird. Like he was on the phone and then you could have just took the keys or whatever. She put the keys down or I forgot what it was, a card or something. And she like, go let her leave. He keeps doing this like, Willow, we should talk. She has made it very clear she does not want to talk to you, that she is so attracted to you, I guess. She's so attracted to him. She cannot be in the same room as him. She's just gonna rip her clothes off or something. Like leave her alone. Like but he won't do that. He keeps it's so weird. This is the weirdest, lamest affair I've seen on daytime soaps.
The most chaste affair. Just a couple kisses and some life ruining. Like, who cares? Get over it. Um, yeah, it's frustrating to watch, and it also just makes him look so predatory. Quit pushing up on her. Leave her alone. And at first I didn't I thought this was like more of like an acting choice or whatever, but now I think it's more of a writing choice of like making him appear to be like whatever so that when they get on the other side of the hump, Willow can be more forgivable than Drew. Um but now we got Ned hiring a PI. I will say that the flashback they used when he was like, I got it from a reliable source, and it was him talking to James. I did laugh at that. I did laugh. But overall, I think the story is really silly. I also think it's silly that it's taking so long to get these shares back from Valentine. Look, I don't know nothing about business. I'm not a business person. I'm not a corporate person. Y'all got to speed this up. How many times has man that had your business up in limbo from his shenanigans? And it's gonna take months?
I guess to have time so that Willow and Drew could either kiss again or have sex, and then Ned, look on your face, and then Ned blackmails Drew to giving him his shares in that trust or whatever. Because I'm assuming he's going to get elected, so he's going to be like, "You're a congressman now, and you don't want to lose that." The trust of the people and Michael and all this stuff because you're going to be outed for having an affair. So I assume that's why it's taking so long. They're making it the share thing happening like now. I mean, not now, but like I guess a couple of months from now or some crap. So I'm sure Drew's gonna need comforting. If we're going there, you know that Drew is gonna be crying like he was before when, Sam and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So just like when the congressman died, that was the last time they, kissed. So I'm assuming that might happen. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
can't believe you just put this in my head that
sorry.
my Sam's death is going to lead to Drillo sex. Ugh. Um, disgusting. I hate it, but I think it's probably gonna happen. But if we were a proper soap, Drew and Willow would be sleeping together right now, and then it would come out on the night of Drew's election party. And they would let Michael go off like they let Sonny go off on Claudia. Well, not even that. That's too much. But didn't Michael wasn't it a party where Michael went off on Carly once?
Yes, it was when
Yeah.
it had to do
When
with
they
Jackson's plan, right?
yeah. When they were like faking when she knew Jax was alive, because people thought he was dead or something. Let Michael go off on Willow like that in the middle of a party. That's if we were a proper soap. Michael like finding out about Drew, like that's that. Let us be a proper soap. Instead, here we are playing around.
Yep.
I'm tired of it. I just also am tired of ELQ not having any stakes. I miss Lucy having her little one share. It was so messy for no reason. I loved it. It was like really this one share is what holds everything up. Can't even do
When
that.
she
It
was
can't even
Lucy
be interesting.
Cassadine, basically.
Yeah, can't even be interesting no more. Also uninteresting. Uh, Finn getting out of rehab off screen, and then now he works at Grace Law Memorial in Seattle, and he's sending for Violet. I don't care. Go. What was the purpose of keeping her? I guess the point of keeping her was like to give this some story to Chillin. They could have had much better story. And to have Lois kind of stalk around and watch Violet talk to Gio.
I guess. I guess the point was so that Brooklyn could be like, I miss, like, I guess to connect her to Bailey Lou, like she's losing another child. But one, it didn't feel like Violet was with them long enough, I guess. I don't even remember when Finn left the show. I know
Mm-hmm.
it's been a while. But it didn't feel like she was there like long enough for her to be this like, I don't know, this upset about it, but I'm gonna let it slide. It's my fave. But I guess the purpose is for Lois to look sus in the background every time Geo is near anybody because
Accomplished.
I'm supposed to believe something is amiss with Gio and his paternity, and I pray that they change course. Please, I beg of you.
Holly,
GA,
his mama.
please. I need, yes, I'd rather Holly be his mama. Why not?
Just, since we making up kids and parents. Yeah, I felt it was weird. To your point, I don't think they were together long enough. It made sense for Bailey because you're raising this baby up until you get this attachment. Um, but you knew that Violet was temporary. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. That was a lot. The stuffed animals with Violet, like literally Violet got more point of view than Sam this week. Like
Yeah.
I in the disrespect of it is just continuing to slap me in the face. I'm over it. I've had enough. And Jophiel is very talented. I think she's going to do great things. Never cared about Violet. It's nothing personal to the actress at all. I wouldn't do that and say anything negative about kids anyway. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
think she's, like I said, very talented. And I'm so excited to see what she will do off of General Hospital.
Good luck to her. Aw.
Yeah, she's like, didn't her song win a little Emmy? Baby girl got a trophy case. Okay, she'll be fine. It's like,
Good for
I
her.
did I did laugh about Tracy hiring a lawyer about over her getting suspended to threaten to sue the kid's parents. That's me as a parent, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest. Me as an auntie. We suing this kid. Bullying, it's over. Um um but I do want to talk a little bit about Tracy this week. I The way Tracy talked to Sasha this week was nuts. No way I wouldn't have quit on the spot. And I want to say I think that part of the reason that her classism feels almost out of place is because there are no other quartermains to like balance it out. There's nobody else who behaves like that in the mansion. Nobody else who is classist in that way. And so it just looks over the top in general, and the way she talks to Sasha looks wild, particularly um, like when you look at it versus the way she talks to Cody. No, it was too much.
I think my issue is she's always talked classes. So you're right. She has talked that way to like Reginald and the other lady. Oh, I forgot her name. But she
Alice.
was like really tall. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. She used to talk to them real wild also, but like you said, there was a balance. Like Monica or Alan or Edward would tell her to be quiet or shut up, and Lila would be like, "Don't be like that, Tracy," and yada yada yada. Or Emily, like there would be other people, and usually when she's talking to Sasha, because it's not the first time she's talked reckless to Sasha. Uh, well, this time they were by themselves. The last time I think Max said something, but
Mm-hmm.
then it was like, why doesn't Ned say? Why isn't it like around like Ned or Olivia or somebody like people who are actually could get her fired? Because Tracy is nobody in the line of things. Is really Monica or Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the other thing that's weird for me, because it's not, I know you guys, you noticed the classism, and we were talking about this with our friends, and you guys noticed that also. I was just noticing like this was very like similar to how she talked to Laura when she came back from the coma, or well, permanently came out of the coma, or whatever the zombie like status she was in, or when she talked to Holly just the same week or before, or how she talked to Sky. No, I hated Sky, so don't think this is like
Never.
but how she talked to Sky.
This is a Sky hating podcast.
Yes. Yay. um, like how she talks to every woman, like she has how she talks to Jenny. I'm going way back, like the '90s. Like how she talks to women that she has like competitiveness with over a man, because the underneath all of this is her issue with Sasha and Cody being together. That's why the Cody scenes seem weird to me, because I feel like it's just like when she was with Gregory. Like she wants to be with this person. Like she wants to date Cody. At first I thought maybe she thought of him as like a son of some sort, like she did, because she was always in Ned and Dylan's love life business also,
Hmm.
like and all that stuff, and saying, Lois, Georgie, whoever it is isn't good enough for them. But
Right.
like this feels like she has feelings for him. And then like it kind of feels, not that he has like feelings for her, but like he knows that she has feelings for him like that. So it's just very weird. So then she's talking to Sasha like this, because I think if it was like if Sasha and Cody weren't involved, she wouldn't have talked to her like that. I think if Sasha hadn't had cooked that dinner for the Scorpios and they weren't involved, she wouldn't have talked to them like that on her day off or whatever. She's just like, it's just like this weird bitchy like thing. And I've seen that before from Tracy or other characters, whether you like them or not, like Ava, Carly, in the past, who've been like, very territorial, right, of their like guy they're with. But like it's just weird because of like she's the employer and she's the employee. And then also like the age difference. Like Sasha is like the same, is like younger than her granddaughter. It's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is weird and it definitely put me off. Like, it was the stay in your place of it all. Because, again, this is one of those things where she ain't wrong. It is inappropriate for you to ask Michael for money. Millions? This is crazy. Um, and this, like, you need to stay in your place of it all is like, no, it was a little bit too much. Then to like switch to the next scene, her being like, Cody's my friend. Let's talk to him about my personal life. I did not care about it. I did not care for it. I
Yeah.
also didn't. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to agree with you, but I was going to add that that also bothered me because Michael has made clear that Sasha is still his friend. So it's not okay for them to be friends, but it's okay for you to be besties with Cody. Like, what are we talking about?
Hmm. I also feel like this, like, we'll come back to Sasha and Cody, but I do think that this was just like such a rushed, weird story. What would have made more sense is like if they would have asked him to like invest in it. You are asking him to give your man some money to buy something he won't. Not like because Michael is actually a businessman. Sasha knows that. Michael was the person who negotiated her contract with Deception. Like that is what he has done. That is like what the lore around Michael is. He's this great businessman. So why didn't you have Cody pitch it as if like it was a business for the Quartermains to invest in? It just feels rushed. It feels silly. It feels like it doesn't make sense to the story. And I would like for it to move on and stop.
Agreed.
Um, Something I do like and would love to see more of Jordan and Isaiah. Just two beautiful people. I would love to see more romance between them, more whining and dining, and less yapping. I know that we have. I know that we have to like get a lot of Isaiah's like backstory and all that, and like this thing with Jordan is a way to do it, but Jordan's fine, and I want to just hear a man tell her how fine she is, and like I want romance because this show has not been writing for couples. And I really do hope that this like Jordan and Isaiah thing is a way that we are getting into some romance. Now I will say, Mr. Isaiah is a little Kim slut because he got chemistry with Elizabeth. He got chemistry with Lucas. When I saw him with Lucas, I was like, is this going to be a triangle? With him and Jordan? So shout out to that actor. I know Tanya knows his name. I do not know his name. But shout out to that actor. Because you're kimming it up, sir. And I approve.
I also approve. Jordan looked beautiful in brown. She looks beautiful in everything, but I thought she looked very
Yeah.
beautiful in brown. And I did like that they went to dinner, but yes, I agree. I want like some nice flirty conversation more and less of like, here's my tragic backstory. This is why I will never do operations again. It's like I was like, this is a lot for a first date. Um, but like we've had this done. I mean, we kind of had this with Elizabeth when he was talking about like him running away and all that stuff. I mean, we could have left it there and then have him just be a sweet talker with Jordan. But maybe we'll get that second date. Second date, I don't know.
No, because I'm speculating. I mean, I have no way of knowing this, but my speculation is that they keep talking about him being this transplant surgeon because he's going to take part in Lulu's transplant. We already had them kind of at the end of the week say, "Oh, there's this problem with Lulu's surgery." So my assumption, who knows, I could be wrong, is that the problem is going to be they don't have a surgeon, and they never asked Isaiah to step in. Um, and so, after that, and after whatever tragic happens, probably gonna have him be sad all over again. Him and Lucky just gonna be twin sad boys. Um, I'm not, we'll see. I keep trying because I feel like there are like storylines and like story things that I want to see happen that are not possible in the way that this writing regime is. Um,
Mhm.
and then there are like stories that I think are possible. Like, so when I think about a couple that I really loved in soaps, I think about like a Greenlee and Leo. And with the way soaps are written now, it's not possible to have another Greenlee and Leo, right? Like, it's just not possible in the way the shows are written. It's not possible in like the length of scenes and all of that. So I'm realistic about what that looks like. But I also think there is some more that can be done that is just not being done. So we'll see. I think I'm just down because we see that Sam finds out that she is going to be Lulu's donor, and it the whole thing. And I know that Britt, you are a longtime Sam fan as well. Um, it all has felt like just a slap in the face. It's like slap after slap after slap after slap. As a Sam fan, with the way this exit story is being written, you have her immediately like feeling guilty about like not getting tested in time. You have her walking in on Dante after he done essentially declared his love for the Spencer girl to Elizabeth. You have her having this scene with her sisters where they are more concerned about fighting with each other than they are about her. Um, it is really frustrating to watch the last scenes of hers be so unfocused on her. Especially considering that when Britt left, Britt Westbourne, who was a character who like had come and gone, who wasn't a character like Sam, who getting this like huge like runaway, like send off. A character like Gregory getting this huge send off, and with Sam, it's just like she gets the least point of view in her send off.
Yeah, I agree. It has been very frustrating, especially because since it was announced that she was exiting the show, that we barely saw her.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like days we wouldn't see her, and then if we did see her, it'd be like a one off. Like it'd be like her at I think at the hearing for Alexis when she got denied bail or whatever, and then it was like, bye, Sam. and it was like nothing. She doesn't have a storyline or anything. It was just like her begging Carly to change her story, or her just supporting Alexis, or her holding Christina's hand, or being told by Alexis to hold Christina's hand, or you know what I mean? It's just been like she's been given nothing, or taking Dante to the was it batting cages or whatever, like earlier this week, and being like, "Oh, you don't need a dry dog," and then going to go get him some ketchup and mustard. It was just like, what is this? And then like, yeah, you have her sisters not really giving a damn about what she's saying, just having another fight. You have them throwing in her face with her telling like the kids, and Scout being like, "Oh, but is it gonna be okay? Are you gonna be okay?" And everybody being like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna be fine." And afterwards we'll have a big party. Like what? It's just, and then you have like you mentioned before, you have Dante and Elizabeth going like, "Man, censors can't get enough." But then Elizabeth being like, "But we found other people." And don't think, GH, I didn't notice, like, she was referring to freaking Franco, who's dead. Don't think I didn't, like, peep that. I peeped.
Yep.
Um, so it's like a lot. It's a lot. It's so disrespectful. She's been on the show continuously for 21 years. It's not even on and off like most people on this show. And this is the way that they're sending her off with no real story. Even like the last time Jason, that was rushed, right? Because of
Yeah.
the mandate. They still had him have a hero thing where he was trying to save Liesel and doing all this stuff, and then he gets buried in the sand or whatever, or so we thought, got buried in the building and everything. But he died a quote unquote hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had enough time to do that, but you're giving her this like nothing sort of uh send off where she doesn't have real story. She's not doing much of anything until this last minute where now she's all of a sudden the donor and all of this. It's just it's very raggedy.
And it's not only like no story, which sucks, but it's that she does not have point of view in the scenes that she's in. So like the scene with Molly and Christina, like they immediately started fighting. So it wasn't even like, and granted, I probably would have complained regardless if I'm mad about this. Let me just be honest. But we didn't even have her like them talking about how they were going to take turns taking care of her kids and like, like making it about her. Are you scared? And then having them get into competition after that. You had Christina being like, "Are you going to pick sides? Well, then it's your fault. And you're abandoning both of us." Like, just nothing for her. Like her just having to leave, and so now we see this like being set up as like, oh, this is gonna be like the way they grieve because because of this is the way they left things with her. Um, we have her in this scene, like we said with Dante, like trying to take care of him. Like we just keep having her in scenes where she is not the focal point, or where she is like feeling bad, or where she is whatever. And so, yes, it sucks that she doesn't have a story that they're sending her off to. They also have her like saving a shell of a person who you still have not gotten us to invest in, right? Like we've said this before, but if they were going to do a story like this, they should have woken Lulu up. Lulu should have been woke to, because why am I giving my kidney? Why am I going to do major surgery for someone who is in a coma? That nothing in this made us believe that having a new kidney is going to wake her up. That doesn't even make sense. That's not how that works. So it is frustrating to me. On the flip side, I will say that, the only good thing I will say is I think the kind of Sante blended family scenes were really good. I think those kids are really talented. That hug that Rocco gave Sam looked very sweet. I really do love the relationship that they've built between Rocco and Danny. Now, I wish that we would have seen a little bit more of these things on screen, but I did enjoy those scenes and that kind of send off. That was the only thing that felt like it was worthy of Sam and like sending her off. I will say that.
Yeah, I think those scenes were very cute. I just want to correct you. It was liver because I remember
Yeah, sorry.
that prison liver and what was it, African liver or something like that. I forgot how I called it. But yeah, but I agree. Like those scenes are very sweet and they have great chemistry together as a family. Um,
hmm
so yeah,
Yeah, and I just feel like even watching them together, I felt Dom and Kelly like leaning on each other. I know that he's only spoken highly of her and spoken really highly about working with her. So I'm sure this is a difficult situation for both of them. And I'm glad that he seems to be a rock for her, at least in those scenes. That's what it seems like. So,
yeah.
um, let's switch gears to something that we both like before we close it out. Um, LL2. So Britt and I are both uh, Liz and Lucky fans. I bet you people who listen to this podcast are pretty surprised that I am that because I am not a Liz fan. But that Lucky and Liz nostalgia just really does it for me.
Permanent
Um,
lock, baby.
permanent permanent lock. And I will say that they were like comfortable and natural in scenes before this week, but this scene at the end of the week, we really did get to see like that sweet chemistry between them. It didn't feel like a barrier or uncomfortable or whatever. It was just like reminiscing and very sweet, and I just really, really enjoyed it. I was confused as to what was happening with Ace. Did like a nanny come? I don't know. I asked my question when they was leaving, but, I appreciated those scenes and I thought they were really good. How about you? How did you feel about our LNL2?
I loved it. A nanny did come in. They did say that. So I'm here to unconfuse you. But yes, a
Thank
nanny
you.
came. And I was just laughing because I was like, if the nanny's coming, damn, Laura, you really don't trust Lucky to take care of Ace. You're like, not nah, bring Elizabeth in. That deadbeat's not gonna do nothing.
But he
But
barely raised his own kid. He can't watch Nicholas's kid.
you can't watch your nephew. That's crazy. Um, but yeah, so I loved it. I thought they had very sweet chemistry, like you said. I like it was a little weird because he was like, "What's Aiden like?" And I'm like, "Okay, I know you're a deadbeat, but you were around him for a little bit, Lucky." But and I feel like they've had stuff where they've been like Aiden went to go visit his dad or talk to his dad or something. So I was like, okay, I guess we're rewriting this, but whatever. But I did like the conversation. I like the nod that Aiden liked music, like Lucky did. Now I need them to like sing together. He'll play the guitar. Bring Cam back. They can
Well,
start
they
like a
can't now
band.
because Aiden looks older than Cam.
True. Unless they Sorai's Cam, now he's going to be Brooklyn's age. But anyway, um, so I think that that was very cute, and I found them to have like this easy like chemistry, like riding an old bike. But I just uh, they're just so cute. I need them to be together. I know some people don't feel the same way, but I do, and that's all that matters to me. I can't wait for her to drop Baldwin so she could be Nurse Elizabeth Spencer again. Give it to me.
Spencer. We got another Spencer being head nurse, baby. Yeah, I also would like that. Um, I will also say that the thing I find lacking is them pretending like he never had a place in his in her other kids' lives. I don't want her to just tell him about Aiden. I want him to ask about Cam. I want him to ask about Jake. He played a huge role in those kids' lives. Some of his cutest scenes were with those cute kids. You remember that really, really cute young Cam? Oh, he was so cute. Like I just remember it because I've been watching some of those scenes again. So yeah, he's played a major role in those kids' lives. So to pretend like he doesn't, and to only ask about Aiden, is not only does it do a disservice to the relationship that he had with those kids, it did a disservice to the relationship he has with Liz because he cares about Liz, he cares about her life, and he cares about her family. So I hope that they rectify that mistake, what I find to be a mistake, and actually have him care about the rest of those kids too. But other than
Agreed.
that,
I definitely agree.
yeah, but I really like them. I think they're cute. Like you said, it's like such an easy chemistry. This like the kind of smiles that they give each other. Um, like we back, baby.
We are, especially because she was like, ugh, Rick, every time. She did that. And then Terry, she was like, oh, it's not about Rick. It's about Lucky. And I said, that's right, Terry. We're team Lucky in this business. in this bit. What she said.
We definitely are. I'm mad they made Terry Team Finn, but we are correcting that. And then finally, I think probably our collective least favorite story, Sasha and Holly. So Holly sees a magazine of Sasha and Cody, the ad. I'm like, that ad's still running? They still getting residuals for this? But okay. So she sees the ad. She asked Felicia about them. And instantly I said, that's her mama, ain't it? But my brain would not process that Robert could be her father. Because I remember people were like, "Who's gonna?" When Holly shows up and was like, "She's like, what are you doing, her mother? Whatever." Do 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 do. I was like, okay, if it's Luke, that's nasty because of Michael, and if it's Robert, that's nasty because of Cody. So I guess it's nasty because of Robert. And I made a Game of Thrones reference earlier, but I still don't want to watch an incest show. So for her to go kiss Cody like that after the fact, I'm grossed out. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm gonna let you pick it up. How are you feeling about the reveal? How are you feeling about the reveal of Holly being her mama?
So first of all, I was a Sodi fan. So that would be number one. I was like, gee, thanks, GH. Because I was still waiting for them to actually freaking have sex. Now it's like, no, please, no, 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 never. Even if they go back to being like, oh no, he's not really Max or she's not really Robert. It's like, no, you can't uncork this. I can't uncork this bottle. Um, I am so grossed out. I first of all have questions. Why is Sasha's last name Gilmore? Um, so that'd be number one. Number two, we've talked about this before. So she didn't know anything about Holly's life in Port Charles, like nothing.
She
So
didn't read Lucy
she
book.
she didn't read the book at all. She didn't hear any semblance of something from like anybody because I mean she not only was she like close to she dated Michael for some time. She was involved with Michael's uncle and had a child with him. she apparently knows Ethan. So Ethan never said anything about like for her to be like, I don't know who my daddy is, so at least check out to make sure Luke wasn't her father. You feel me? And then like you didn't try to, and then you didn't know about her being married to Robert. Like that was like what? um. So I'm very very confused on that. The grandmother is the grandmother British too. So how does Sasha not have an accent? Um Where's David Vickers in this? She was hanging out with him. Could he possibly also be the father? Like, what? It doesn't make any sense at all. And then, like, I remember we talked about the paternity test, like, off camera, everybody, but we talked about the paternity test, and Felicia was like, it's a yes or no question. And then you looked it up and you were like, no, that's not how that works ever for a fraternity test. So then that don't make sense. So they made that up to cover their ass. And it's just, it doesn't make any sense. And I know like other people like that Anna stands and stuff are like on the timeline, like, yo, we saw her for when Sasha would have been conceived and she wasn't pregnant the whole time and she was with Mac and Bill Eckert. And I'm like, again, even if she was with those two, it's still incest because either her and Cody are siblings or again, she's Michael's cousin. No, 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 no. This needs to stop. I'm just I get it. You guys want to do surprises. They keep doing this. They keep doing like surprise. We're gonna like throw this at you, but like it has to make sense and it has to like I think about other times they revealed somebody being like somebody's kid. Because the Cody thing was messy too because it would have happened when Dominique was in the sanitarium or right before she went to the mental hospital, and then apparently like I was very little when that happened. So like she was like very scarred from being essayed by her husband. So she wasn't having sex, but now they changed it to her having sex with Mac and being pregnant with Cody. And you just go back and you think about like how they made Nicholas' conception with Laura work, how they made it work with Harley and Bobby being a teenager, or how they made Alexis and Sam even work, even though you have to like be like Alexis was a teenager, but like I guess she's playing it younger or whatever. They do the same thing with like everybody, but like like stuff fit in where you could be like, oh okay, this pop up kid it works. Even like Rick, like this was pre-show and then you have to add it in and everything, but they made it work where you could believe that Adela had this kid. Even like a Courtney, boo, hate Courtney, but like that also worked. But like this timeline doesn't work, and then you're trying to make this work to do incest. Like why? Like you could have just had them break up if that's the like I'd rather they had just broken up or something didn't work out for whatever reason than to do this for this to be the reason to break them up if that was the cause of this. Because you could have done something completely different if you were really planning. Like if you want to give Robert and Holly a child, this is the way you're gonna do it. Like and then like and then like Sasha has gone through a lot of stuff. So we're going to add more stuff. And she's already like this mentally vulnerable person. She's gone through various like addiction issues. She's had her husband and child die. She had a heart attack. She was schemed out of money by her mother-in-law who put her who like had a conservatorship over her and then put her in the asylum, and she was being like tortured by this doctor who was pumping her up with drugs. Then you have it that Cody is like her savior, and now you're gonna take that away from her. Then you have her acting kooky, to say the least, by like, I guess, getting DNA from him by tonguing him
I
after
don't
you
think
just
that's
found
what
out.
happened. I think that that's what people assumed happened. And I think, no, she just went to go tongue him down. Because if she would have gotten DNA from Cody, she wouldn't have needed to do this DNA test with Robert. Nothing made
Right.
us, there was nothing that showed us that she was getting DNA from Cody, which is a weird extra kiss.
So it's even weirder. Okay. I guess we were all trying to give her some bail.
Everybody
Um,
was trying to shoot her bill, and it was just like, no, no, she was just being weird.
it's just so gross. It's just messed everything up. Sasha looks crazy, and not sympathetic crazy, but just like crazy into incest crazy. Cody looks like what the F is going on, like everybody else. Uh, Holly looked like a heartless witch, because she knew that like she was pretending to be Nina Reese's daughter, so she kept tabs on her. So you knew that she was going through all this stuff, but you didn't stop scamming to like comfort your daughter when you lost your grandson, or when you lost your son-in-law, or when your daughter was in the mental asylum, or when she was being stalked by the paparazzi, or any of this stuff. And you knew her daddy was in the damn town that she was in, was the district attorney. You didn't tell her? Like, crazy. She looks heartless and crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Holly. I never have been and never will be. But if I were, like, this would not be a story I would want for her. This this looks bad, one. But I think that when you pull it up and you try to say, okay, this is what I'm doing, or this is how we're pulling it back, and you keep doing that, it doesn't work. The reason it worked with Sam and Alexis is because neither of them knew. That's the reason that worked. And so you could like fill in these blanks because like yeah, you can fill in these blanks because neither of them knew. I think that it's hard to do that when somebody is supposed to know, but you didn't start the story that way. When you like, even with Cody, no matter how messy it was, when Cody came on, they started the story knowing that the story was going to be this paternity secret or paternity story. With Sasha, to your point, you have to now fill in all of these things, and you didn't care. Literally, Holly, you let Gladys do that to your daughter? What? Like, it just does not make any sense at all. And it's not good storytelling. It's not interesting. It's not necessary. Yeah, it's not necessary. It's not a good story. I read Emma Sam's interview. She was like, they dug right way back into history to like tell this story. Okay, but they didn't consider the present. Because I think that like this whole idea of like, oh, when was she pregnant? We saw her in 85, we saw her in 92, whatever, whatever. I'm less concerned about that, especially with story rising. Like Jake is supposed to be older than Jocelyn. Like I'm not concerned about that kind of sequencing, but I am concerned with like the events of what happened kind of sequencing. So to your point about Dominique and Cody and like the story having to be completely upended from what it was in order to make him work. So it's not good. It's gross. Like there's no need to introduce incest into the show. I don't get it, and I would like to pass. I would like to be taken out of this group chat.
I need them to course correct. Just, I don't know. I don't know. Like, where is this going? Is this going like, no, where is this going? Like,
Why did Robert
because
look like he didn't care?
he didn't. I mean, he was taking it very calmly that he found out that he has a 30-something-year-old new daughter that like came from Holly, and all of this stuff, that Holly lied to him once again, that she was involved with his nephew. he knows she's involved with his nephew. So like there's also the incest of it all. It's so weird. He was just like it was like she told him like I lost no, I was gonna say like I lost your pet, like she was the sitter, but like no, I think he would have I would hope to have a bigger reaction to that too. Like she was like, I forgot your coffee order or something. Like it was it was very tame.
And also, they keep giving Robin all these scammer siblings.
And you keep do that's what they do to my girl. I guess they'll make her the shining star of the Scorpio family.
I
She's not Peter and she's not Sasha. So there you go.
I also laughed when Holly was talking to her, like, do you wash the dishes here? Holly straight up told Maxie and Felicia that she taught Sasha all she knew, and Maxie was me, disgusted. What do you mean? This show,
She's like the lady from the Grifters, like Angelica Houston in that movie. You all should watch that movie. But like she's like that. She's just a con woman and she teaches her kid to be a con person. It's crazy.
and Sasha's not
What
good
a
at
mother.
timing. Sasha's not good at timing. Well, that's all I got. Anything else before we preview for next week?
Free me from this incest. Free me from this incest storyline. That's all I got for you.
Please. Enough. All right. Monday, Sam visits Drew and Jason. Laura seeks solace. Lucky is persuasive. Holly and Robert have a fateful encounter. Elizabeth counsels Lucas. Hmm. Oh yeah, that's the thing that we didn't speculate on. Who messed with Lulu's ventilator, and if that will have uh, any part to play in what happens to Sam. So interesting to see. Tuesday, Maxie shares a secret with Spinelli. Rick brings the news to Elizabeth. Nina is appalled. Jocelyn and Dex enjoy a night out. Anna and Holly have it out. Wednesday, Sunny is wary. Molly confronts Rick. Curtis makes a promise to Portia. Trina gets support from Gio. Holly seeks assistance. Thursday, Sam and Lulu's imminent procedures draws loved ones to the hospital. Curtis enacts a plan. Brennan fields a crisis. Carly makes her case to Jason. Steve Weber returns. He could leave. No one needed him. And then Friday, Elizabeth gets a happy surprise. Sasha confides in Nina. Diane is stunned. Anna checks in on Laura. Alexis awaits news on Sam. We're not dead. What you mean, Alexis? Is Dante so wrapped up in Lulu, you know, he ain't paying no attention to Sam? GA should have pissed me off even more. Well, friends, thank you for listening. Thank you again, Britt, for joining.
Of
Um,
course.
I did I did say that whenever Kelly's last day was, I was gonna do like a little live situation, so I will keep y'all updated. Um, and yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, tell a friend, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.